Welcome back to another episode of Life After Sunday. Mike, Bob, what's up, gentlemen?
What's happening?
Dude, I'm just sitting here looking on the screen, and I start cracking up because you look so tiny between me and Mom. Look how little.
Because y'all are more forward than I am. I'm back.
That's what it is.
Is that what happens?
That's what it is.
With a fish, you put it or
You got to hold it out and make it look bigger.
Okay.
We're going to go with that anyway.
I like it.
Yeah, because I'm just a wee little man.
You are.
You're a massive human being. So, we have a brand new member to the Life After Sunday show, Mr. Bob Brock. Eric, he had to take a break. He'll come on periodically when he can. He is super busy with work and stuff. So, we're glad to welcome Bob Brock as an official member of the Life After Sunday podcast.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited about it. I really thought it was something that I was supposed to do, but I didn't want to push myself on anyone. And then you guys called me, and I was very excited. So it's something that's close to my heart. You know, talking to men and helping men understand about man things and God things are the same things.
I like that.
That's right.
You know.
Well, you were a natural. How many times have you been on? 2 or 3?
2.
2 times. You were a natural the whole time. So this is glad to have you. Definitely glad.
I'm going to have to ask you to do better with your mic control.
I'm trying.
All right.
I'm trying.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm ready.
So it's Thanksgiving week, fellas. Are you off work? Anybody? Well, this guy's off work all the time. Don't count.
Yeah.
You get any time off?
I'll be off for Thanksgiving, and I'll take a little time myself.
Yeah.
But my schedule is kind of worked by me, and of course, if you don't work, you don't eat, right? So
It's like I do what I want. So.
no, well, not if my boss is watching this. I work all the time. Even when I'm off, I work. So
for me, even being retired, the thing I get to look forward to is my wife is not slaving away in her little cubicle all day. So she's actually available to hang out and do some stuff this week. And Jake's home. There we go. I'm always getting in trouble for my mic. But Jake's home, which is good. So he hadn't been home in a long time. So we're looking forward to chilling this week.
I made my first ever homemade yeast rolls.
Get out of town.
Yeah, I made them. My mom, she's not able to make them anymore, and they're coming up for Thanksgiving. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just give it a shot. And so I got her to send me a recipe, and I kneaded that dough and made homemade yeast rolls this weekend.
That's cracking a pan, bro.
Dude, they were good too.
God.
They were good. So
my grandma, she's passed away now, but she used to make yeast rolls. And the first time my wife, we were just dating, she came over for Thanksgiving at my mom's house. My grandma, she lived next door, so she came over. She would drive down and bring all her stuff. You know, she had a little basket with all her rolls and everything she made, you know. We get out of the car, and she pulls it right behind us. She asked Carrie to carry one of the pans of rolls. It was still in the pan. She would put a towel over the top just to kind of keep it warm. She hands it to Carrie. She turns around. Carrie takes 2 steps. Towel flies off. Rolls go face first on the asphalt. I haven't even met my family yet.
Oh man.
But needless to say, the rolls were so good, we still ate the rolls.
well, yeah.
But this shows how uncultured I am growing up in Arkansas. You know, not that Panera Bread is any kind of like fancy bread place, but I remember the first time I ate there, I was like, what is wrong with this bread? This is a bread place, and I'm like chewing on this bread, like sourdough.
Yeah.
They had this beautiful bread like in a display. I'm like, that looks amazing. I got it. Same thing. Chewing on it.
Yeah, hard.
They're getting tired. I'm like, this is supposed to be amazing bread. I'm not feeling it.
I love sourdough, actually.
I've grown to like
it. Baked right. I don't like bread that is hard on the outside. I don't mind a little crunch on the edge, but if it's hard, you got to dig the whole middle out.
Yeah, the southern way is a hot, soft yeast roll.
That's right. That's right.
And we used to put we had yeast rolls, and for dessert,
I
would open it up and put butter
and
sugar.
Oh yeah.
That's
Dude.
old
So
school.
we do honey.
Try the sugar at Thanksgiving. Try
Okay.
it back with me.
We had a place in Houston where they would throw rolls at you.
Oh, there's plans at Lambert's up in Missouri that does that.
Oh, really?
Lambert's. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's great. Just above Springfield. It's awesome. Or actually, it's below Springfield, between Springfield and Branson.
Roll.
Yeah, the home of the throw roll.
Awesome food, like down Southern cooking. Like
And that's
they
what-
come around with you have to get
Yeah.
a napkin.
The roll's this big.
Yeah.
And he's all the way across the restaurant. And you raise your hand, he's they're hitting flags on their way to you.
Wow. What's it called again?
Lambert's.
Lambert's. All right.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to go there.
And you order your meat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you order your meat and then
Uh-huh.
they bring the sides around, so they give you a thing. They might come around with fried potatoes.
Yeah, you order your meat and like two sides, and then they come around with what they call pass-arounds, which is fried potatoes fried okra, yeah, stuff like that. It's and if so, you order the chicken fried steak and you order the rooster portion. Like if you eat all of it and you go, yeah, I want another, they cook you another and bring it to you. Same price. I don't know how you could ever eat two of them, but
the size of a hub.
I know. I mean, like,
My goal is when I go to places like that is to be the one person that makes them lose money.
Mine will be force feed pure.
you're talking.
Eating that
Yes.
thing.
You're talking about sugar on your rolls. Okay, I don't know if this is. I think this is a Southern thing, but y'all can help me with this. Like my family, and I've grown my kids up on it too, and it's like a delicacy to them. But like on their birthdays and just if they're home and I may fix breakfast, and we do cinnamon toast.
Oh,
But it's white bread that we put butter on, cinnamon and sugar, put it in the oven. And we pull it out before it gets I mean, it's so soft and gooey, and it's.
my mom did the same thing for me growing up.
Yep.
And I make it all the
I
time.
make it for my kids too.
My wife occasionally will do that with buttered toast.
One time, my grandpa was making it for me. He brought it to me, and it looked great. It looked normal. I bit into it. He accidentally put nutmeg instead of cinnamon.
Snap.
'Cause, you know, they come in. It looked
Yeah, nutmeg goes a long ways.
Did you fake it?
No, absolutely not. I spit it out. I was just a kid too. And I was like, "What is that?" It's
Oh.
disgusting, man. So, anyway, Thanksgiving is upon us. So, we thought we'd take time today to talk about being thankful. I think Bob has a.
Yeah, I mean, not a story. We were talking about doing this, and so I've just been kind of meditating on it and thinking about it. And this morning, or actually last night, my youngest came home and says, "Hey, let's go try out this. Let's go to this little church. One of my teachers is the pastor there." And I said, "Well, I've been thinking about going there." So she's like, "Let's go there this morning." In the morning, I said, "Okay." So we went this morning, and we go to a larger church. I mean, I say larger. I mean, several hundred people that go to the church. And we walked in, and there's like seven people,
Oh man, I'd be so uncomfortable.
and they were right in the middle of their Bible study as we walked in.
Even more uncomfortable.
There was a ladder up on the stage where they were rehanging a projector. And so, but for me, I loved it. I loved it.
You mean the intimacy of it?
Well, I mean, so often we get caught up in the running around of it and the big show of it and all of the production. And when it doesn't go right, we get mad and we get upset. And here they were just working on getting it right. And the pastor, even from up front, was like, he's doing music beforehand. It's just him with playing music off of his phone, and then it buffered and the music stopped, and he's like, well, I'm just going to keep singing. So he just kept singing. I mean, it was all these little things, but it was like, you knew that them being there, it was pure.
Yeah.
They wanted to be there. They wanted to hear from God. They really wanted a connection. And I was just, man, and he's like, we're going to talk about gratitude this morning.
Oh, wow.
So he started talking about things that he was thankful for. And it made me start, when we left, I was like, let's think about some things we're thankful for. And I said, I'm not asking you to say, oh, I'm thankful for my dad or I'm thankful for my family. Those are all things that's normal.
Let's drill down.
But I said, let's take it down to real small. I was like, I'm thankful for ramen noodles.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, because those things, they just hit right.
They do.
There are times when it's like, you ain't got nothing else to eat in the house, but in 3 minutes, I can have me some ramen noodles with that chicken flavoring, and it's just good. Hot and fresh. I don't leave the juice in. I leave just a tiny bit of.
There's a tiny bit. You can't be too soupy.
Yeah, and I don't want it soup because it'll actually drink all that up. But that's so. So today when we met with the rest of our family for lunch, and we were like, okay, what are you thankful for? Let's just talk about what we're thankful for, and it brought my day up. Just being able to sit there and think about things that were so small that we were thankful for, it completely just it takes a little bit off your shoulders. And you just start thinking about those things, and we as men, a lot of times it's always about pushing forward, getting done, completing the task, provide.
Yeah.
And we need to take time and just sit back and go, what am I thankful for?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's hard to be negative and angry when you're going through and thinking about things you're thankful for.
Yeah.
It really helps set the attitude right. It sets you on the right path.
It really does. And I think it's funny you say that because I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about the very same thing about men carry so much on their shoulders from the pressure from the world, their family, and all this stuff. Like you said, go, do. I got to fix this. I got to do that. I got to provide. I got to go to work. I got to make money. I got to work overtime. I got to do all this stuff. But where is the time that you stop and say, I'm thankful I even got a job.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I got a truck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that I'm able to come home to a family. I mean? Those things, we don't think of them often. And
like you're thankful to not be in a wheelchair. You're thankful for fresh air. I'm thankful for the little birds I like to watch that all my buddies make fun of. They make me happy. See them every day.
And that's why I was like, I'm thankful for my group of misfit friends.
Absolutely.
That we are all in different places on different levels, but yet there's love there that comes together. I mean, it's like throwing together a pot of chili. I mean, it is. It's so many different flavors thrown in, but once they all marry together, it's just awesome.
Like gumbo, more like gumbo.
Yeah, gumbo. Yeah, I like that.
Gumbo.
Stinky shrimp, a little bit of stinky.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
Dog's ear, a pig snout,
So I'll ask you guys, what does thankfulness mean to you? Mike, you go first.
This is something I've been working on for a while, so I'm pretty well versed in it. It's literally every day, just trying to find the smallest thing. And I always like, because I read history a lot, you take for granted the ability to simply go somewhere. So like on the way here, I initially thought, I don't want to drive to Atkins. And then immediately I actually had to come back to, and I've done this on several of our podcasts. I just want to sit at the house and chill. I don't feel like driving to Atkins. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm thankful to be with my buddies. Every time we leave here, I feel good. It's a great conversation. I'm thankful I'm driving in this pickup. I've got a good radio going. I've got air conditioning, heating. You have to stop sometimes and grab yourself because you got to think, again, going back to history. Imagine a trip from Russellville to Atkins. If we were doing this, I'm driving. I'm in a horse or a wagon, bouncing the whole way here, and I'm beat to death by the time I get here. And it takes me 2 hours. Again, just the little things like that.
That would be absolutely terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, you can. The easy stuff is my family. All that stuff's easy, but it's drilling down and loving the fall when you step outside and you can smell somebody's burning something. And
Yeah.
That right there.
You know, the sunsets in the,
That's
in the
good stuff.
fall and winter are out of this world
Mm.
with that clear sky. So trying to find the small. I'm thankful I have a pension.
Yeah.
You know, like
So you don't think about it
it's
often.
just you don't think about it often. I'm thankful that
The money just shows up in your account.
it does. It's
every month.
It's wonderful. I'm thankful that we have freedom here. Never ever take that for granted.
Ever.
You know, we can say things, at least for now, at least the next 4 years, and not be put on a watch list or not have the police kicking down our door because we made a post about COVID during COVID, like they do in Britain. So I can go on and on about it, but you can't ever take those things for granted. I actually think one of the I've done a lot of reading on this. I think one of the reasons society is unhappy today is because our life is so easy. That in the past life was harder, so you had to really make a focused effort to have a good, safe day. Your family's fed, you got heating, your family's going to survive. And I think that provided a profound, deep satisfaction. But now everything is so easy.
Well, I think it's entitlement instead of thankfulness.
Yes.
And so what we run into is it bothers me when people they look down on you because you have something and that they should have it instead of looking at what they are thankful for.
Or absolutely, and it's a mindset. So think about this: do you know anybody who loves to go to Walmart?
Mm-mm.
No, everybody hates it. And Monica,
I will hang on.
No. If you're going there to buy groceries, not to buy stuff for you. Okay.
But like me and that's a date night a lot of times for me and my wife.
Yeah,
it's different.
But we're buying groceries.
But you're spending quality time.
Okay, all right.
But we're talking about here's a list of 30 things. Go to the store and get it
By yourself.
Tabasco.
Like you got to go buy. Hey, you got to buy groceries for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah,
by myself.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Yeah.
So all right, we take for granted. Like when you walk in there and there's all this fresh produce. Most of the world doesn't have that.
Now I will say, back in the day when the girls were young, that was code. We're going to Walmart. We're going to Walmart. That was code. So I was happy to go to Walmart back in the day.
A very ingrained positive memory.
Yeah.
I like that.
You have a distorted view of Walmart.
Yeah.
I like that. And now I'm pulling up there going, I got to go pick up Walmart today. And I sit in my truck and they bring it out to me and put it in the truck.
We did that.
Get out.
We don't even have a right to complain at all.
Man. I'm gonna piggyback on what you said a little bit, Mike, because I go backpacking a lot, and it's coming up on that season. And when you're out there and you're in the middle of nowhere, you have no cell phone signal, can't take a shower, you're sleeping on the ground. You really realize, I'm thinking, like we talk about a lot out there, what we're thankful for, because you don't have the amenities of sleeping in your nice bed, a hot shower.
I'm out.
I will say, we eat
Oh yeah.
ramen noodles.
Yeah.
And they are magnificent.
But you take a burner with you and you make this little meal from what you told me with your burner. And because you're in that environment, so, if you made that in the kitchen right now, you wouldn't care about it. But you're out there
We make what we call we call hobo dinners. And so like you get the coals of the fire and then we get aluminum foil and you put ketchup on it and then you put raw meat and potatoes and carrots and all that in there, seal it up and throw it under the coals.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have this little jet boil thing and we'll boil water, and this guy I go with, he has a little small skillet, he'll fry some summer sausage, and I'll do the ramen noodles, and we'll put cook a couple eggs, and we'll throw it all together.
Oh yeah.
Ramen noodles, sausage, eggs, just whatever we got. And it's just hot.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And you
That's
can
good.
freeze, and you freeze to death when you got to go pee. and then you wake up and it's cold, and then when you make that meal,
It's amazing.
But I've sworn off tent camping. I am too old. I am too fat for tent camping.
I know, it's like when you turn 40, you're like, I no longer choose to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Me and my wife went tent camping in Estes Park last year, and she said, I got 2 stipulations for you. She said, if you can keep me warm, I sleep good, and we eat good, I'll go.
And she's like us. She don't really want
exactly.
Okay.
And I delivered on all points.
But my problem is, like, even in a tent, okay, like you get the blow up mattress, right?
We had it.
Blow up mattress and me.
Yeah.
They don't by morning I'm on ground.
Right.
And my wife is still up here on top of all the air.
We have the ones that are like
Yeah, it don't matter.
3 feet off the ground, not the little ones.
Yeah, it don't matter, brother. I'm breaking down a blow up mattress.
We had a buddy heater. I had it hooked to like a little 10-pound propane bottle. I would knock off the chill at night, and I turn it back on in the morning. I had a carbon monoxide detector in there. Had my laptop. I downloaded movies on there. The charger in the car.
That's good.
All right.
Lights. I mean, it was legit. We had a rug. I mean, it was legit.
That's cool.
Oh, you were glamping.
We were glamping.
Yeah, you take her glamping. You take her glamping. That's all right.
Yeah, we had a good time, though.
Yeah.
But just being out there like that makes you thankful for that stuff that you take for granted every day. And I think it's a mindset that you have to get in to continue to be thankful for that stuff, not just during this season of Thanksgiving. I think what does it do for your mind and your body and just your physical, your anxiety and your stress when you're thankful?
Oh, yeah.
Just think on these things that are pure, honest, just, praiseworthy, all that stuff. If you think those things, that's stuff you're thankful for.
That's right. Yeah, once you start doing that, it's hard to stay in a bad mood. I could put my wife in a bad mood by me getting in a good mood.
Yeah.
Like we'll be at each other, we're having a heated discussion, and I'll go to the bathroom and I'll look in the mirror and I'll go, "You're not going to be mad."
That's hard to do.
You're gonna start thinking about the things in this that you're thankful for, and I'll walk out of the bathroom. I'll be smiling. She'll be like, "What are you smiling about?" I said, "Well, I just decided I'm not going to be mad," and she'd just be like,
Right out.
"Yeah." You gotta be thankful. I mean, and like you were talking about, what are things? Man, I actually do that. Look in the mirror, talk to myself.
Give yourself a pep talk.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't love you, how do you expect anyone else to love you?
You can't. They can't.
They can't. And so, you look in the mirror and tell yourself you look good. You tell yourself that you're good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough. I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. It's not a bad thing because you got to like you. And when we're talking about I'm thankful for what I call the because life.
What is the because life?
Okay, because he first loved me, I can love others. I can love myself. Without that, we can't. Because that and that's what in my house, we live by the because life. And my daughter will tell me, "Are you living the because life today?" And I'm like, jerk. But
and she'll do it probably right when the moment.
Oh yeah, no.
Kind of spit and venom.
Oh yeah, that's her.
But it brings you back down.
That's right.
And you're like triggers, and you're saying how you think, and you calm down.
That's right.
Whatever the situation is.
Absolutely.
It makes you think of what you're thankful for.
One of the cool things, I've brought this book up before. This is Dennis Prager. It's called "Happiness is a Serious Problem," and I love this right here. I wanted to point this out. This is under expectations, undermine gratitude. The key to happiness. It actually says the secret to happiness is gratitude, and it says one of the things that bring our happiness down is the more expectations you have, the less gratitude you will have.
Wow.
And it kind of sounds contrary, but if you think about it, every time you get mad about something, it's often because you thought something was going to go
Yeah.
this way, and it didn't. And that even goes to like when you're driving on the road. You have an expectation that people are not going to be idiots in the left lane. And because of that expectation, we become angry when they park in the left lane.
Yeah.
You know, so it's little things like that. A lot of people don't realize it. And also too having unrealistic expectations. On maybe that's on your wife. You expect her to do certain things on anything, you know, and then when those expectations are not met,
What, man? Just like say you have a date night. So this happened a few months ago. Me and my wife were going to have a date night. And so this is what I had expected. I had expected we were going to go out to eat here. We were going to go do this. We're going to do that. And then all of a sudden, every bit of that changed. And she was trying to figure out why I was in a bad mood. But the reason I was in a bad mood wasn't anything that she did. It was just that my expectations of what we were about to go do was different. Like we went on a cruise one time. The first cruise we ever went on, I hated it. I took my kids and we went on, and my expectation was we were going to go on this cruise and there was going to be all kinds of awesome stuff that I was going to build memories with my kids while we're on this cruise. Well, you get on the boat and there's things for them to do and there's things for you to do. There's not things for y'all to do on the boat. Now, excursions and that kind of stuff you do, but there wasn't. And so I hated it. But it was because my expectation was to build all this time with my kids. And then that didn't happen because they had their fun things to do and we had our things to do. Now, the next time I went, it was just me and my wife. And we had a blast.
Did you enter into it with no expectations?
Well, my expectations were totally different.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't expecting, you know, and me and her have gotten to the point even now in our relationship where, like, if we go to the beach, she may go get in her beach chair and go sit down by the water and read a book for hours. I have no expectations of her doing anything other than that. And because of that, I can go do what I want and we don't have expectations on each other. I'm very thankful for that.
Yep.
I have actually a similar story that happened to me and my wife yesterday. We had this date day planned, and Friday night, like my daughter was going to spend that with my mom. I mean, we were going to get the whole day, the whole afternoon and evening together. The night, no kids, no anything, and I came crashing down Friday evening, and my daughter wasn't feeling well, so then she woke up. She's not going to my mom's. I was just like, I was crushed, dude. I was looking forward to it all week, and the same thing. I was like, she's like, "You gonna be okay?" I'm like, "Yeah," but then like my daughter started feeling better Saturday morning, and then my daughter went with us and did everything we were gonna do. You know, we went and ate lunch with the Sams, all this stuff, and went shopping and came home. We had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
And that happens.
But in the initial part, I'm like,
why? Chris, that's like me every time you try to get me out of my house. I'm always like, I just want to stay on my mountain. I don't want to leave. Like, you know, that concert.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I don't like concerts. I don't want to go to a concert. But I just want to go, had a blast. And it's funny.
You took Mike to Winter Jam last year.
Oh, yeah.
It was a moving experience.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I don't like being in big crowds and stuff. But, you know,
We had a good time.
The high-strung people, I'm a very high-strung person. That will produce success in many arenas of your life, but in personal part of your life, it can actually make you aggravated a lot.
Yeah.
Because you constantly, it don't matter if I'm going to the store, it could be the smallest thing and I have an expectation to it.
Yeah.
And so that's whenever I kind of get jealous, or not jealous, or I want to be more like those folks the more easygoing folks who just, kind of like my son. He just goes with the flow, man. He's like bobbing down the thing. He runs into something. He just bobs right around it. Keeps going.
Right, whatever.
And I want to be more like that, you know. It's a good balance.
You know, and that brings me to the point where, like, when that happens to you, like, it makes it hard to be thankful. And like even like I know for me, like it was like I don't have any social media to this day, and because of that, because I would use it as a comparison tool. So I was comparing my life to other people's
Yeah.
life on Facebook or whatever, and what they had, what I didn't have. That was creating quite the opposite in me from being thankful for what I do have, but I was envying these people.
And it's so easy
God.
to look at the snapshot in their life, and our minds take it to how much better their life is than ours. And the truth is, like they got this picture, and it's like, this beautiful sunset, and they're like, oh, see the sunset that we enjoyed tonight. And you're like, man, how do they have a place that, and the truth, if you see behind that snapshot, that was them standing there with 700 people reaching around some fat dude that smelled like ravioli, holding up their phone through these trees to take that pic. You know what I'm saying? So, but in our mind, it's like they're sitting there, and it's just like this perfect,
everybody around.
Yeah.
Well, they've exposed a lot of those influencers on TikTok and Instagram. That these girls would pose and do like those, like my life is perfect, and that they had actually computer generated the sunsets and computer generated the background. So not only it was 100% fake, to make everybody go, man, look at their life, when they weren't actually on the balcony in Milan, they were at the house, doing that pose, and the computer generated.
Or like you see like a picture of like somebody and their family or their couple, and you don't know that they really hate each other, or they had this massive argument before that, or
they look all put together in that picture.
But it took away from me being thankful from what God had given me.
Yeah,
my family, my wife, my truck, my house, all those things, and then you start wishing you had a different life. You really do. It's
and like just watching advertisements. Yeah. The whole point of an advertisement is to create an expectation in your own life that you need that new truck.
But I will say, drug commercials are the best at this, because they're like you're A1C, and they got you dancing, and it's all this happy, and then it's like may cause death, may cause cancer, may cause.
But be nuts. Those A1C commercials with the dancing, the bigger girls dancing around.
It's a whole crew of them.
It drives me nuts. I hate those. And it's kind of funny, though, going back to things you're thankful for. So right now in the media, everybody's hating on pharmaceutical companies because of COVID and the vax and all that. And you can find yourself going, man, the pharmaceuticals, they're just out to rob us. And again, I have to stop myself and go, if it wasn't for pharmaceuticals, my daughter wouldn't have the amazing medicine she has.
Yeah.
They have a bad side, but they also give us the very drugs that get us through critical illnesses. So again, it's flipping the script, and going past just what you're presented every day, trying to actually stop and think about stuff.
It's so true. So what are some practical ways that men or anyone listening can cultivate thankfulness? What can they do? Like it's easy to do now, this week and Thanksgiving season, but how can we continue that? It's moving forward.
It's literally breaking the way we're designed as sinful creatures. We're designed to moan all the time. Yeah. We're a victim to everything. We're always getting screwed. And you have to break that cycle. Whereas like maybe if you're getting up to go, like I remember when I was on night shift, and I've been on night shift for like, 12 years. And I was miserable. And to just having to stop myself and just sit here and go, literally having to trick my mind and go, I'm thankful. I have a very good job. I'm getting paid well. I love what I do. Yes, I'm sick of nights. And just resetting, because especially when you go to work and you pull up next to somebody else and they're going, oh, this sucks, this is horrible, I hate this, I hate that. And it just you have to actually stop. And just like I said whenever I was coming here, I was in Houston 2 years ago. I'm beyond thankful for the opportunity to drive 12 miles down the road and hang out with two of my buddies.
Yeah.
But had I not caught my mind, I'd be driving here going, man, Monica's at home. We're gonna watch Landman together later tonight.
Yeah, I know. My wife asked me before, can I watch it without you? And I'm like,
Absolutely not.
And that's it. And we got the fire going outside. Jake's there. We've had a long, busy weekend. And I was like, no, stop. I'm going to go hang out with my boys. And we're going to talk and have a good time.
I look at it like this, okay?
Mike tried to call in sick earlier today.
I said, can you do it, just y'all two? And Chris was like, come on, man.
Good.
Yeah, he's like, if you really want me to, I'll come. I said, all right, then. I really want you to.
It's
good.
It's the first time in my retired life I tried calling in sick.
It's whether you're living your life by the outlook or the unlook. My outlook, if I look out on the outlook, that means I'm not living my life and I'm looking at everybody else's and I'm putting together all of these bad things. If I'm looking on the unlook, I'm living life. I'm living my life and I'm enjoying the time. It's all in that perspective of how you look at it. Because just like I was talking to you guys beforehand, tomorrow I got to pay $1,700 for my daughter to get her wisdom teeth pulled. But I can look on the outlook of that, or I can look at the onlook and say, thank you, God, that I have the money that I can pay for that.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for the dentist
that can do that, can take the pain off of her jaw. Yeah. So that's the onlook because I'm on it.
Good point.
That's really
instead of the outlook.
Because our habit, like we talked before, the analogy is as humans, our steering wheel on a straight road is turned slightly to the right toward the ditch.
Yeah.
And if you wake up every day and put no effort, active effort into your attitude, you're going to be in the ditch.
Yeah.
And it's hard. You constantly correcting.
Yeah. It takes
active effort.
Active effort. It takes a discipline to do those things, and
it doesn't happen every day.
It don't happen every day. And I think some things that can help people become more thankful is like when you pray, don't pray, Lord, give me this, do this. I need you to do that. I want this. Help me with this. Just say a prayer in the morning of thank Him.
Well, there's prayer of thanksgiving.
Yeah. Actually, the Bible says, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving.
With thanksgiving.
Let your request. It says be thankful first.
That's right.
And then make your request known.
I heard a podcast the other day. This was so cool. This guy went to like Ukraine, and he was meeting with some church folks. I'm always fighting this thing.
Can't leave it alone.
And he was meeting with some church folks. They're living a difficult life over there. They're constantly in air raid sirens, always going in shelter. And he's over there freaking out. And he actually said to them, he's like, we could just be killed just like that. How are you guys not stressed out? Why are you happy? And they had such an incredible perspective. They're like, just means we get to go be with God. Yeah, that's a great thing. And I was like, whoa, that's impressive.
I got a new drinking game for our listeners here. Every time Mike touches his mic, you got to take a drink of your water, I guess, or whatever you're drinking.
I get a free pass because I fidget, move, touch, shake,
everything.
So I get a free pass.
That's hilarious. Man. That was all I was going to say too.
Well, it's just that. How bizarre is that folks can have death threat on their face and they're like, "Hey, we're going to go be with Jesus. That's okay."
You know what that is? There's a scripture in Philippians, I think it says 4:6-8 or something, and it says, "In the peace of God that surpasses all understanding." That's what they got.
That's what they got.
That's the peace.
Well, but
it says, my world is crumbling around me.
The definition of faith.
Yeah.
God said faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That's what faith is. Faith isn't whether you're Baptist or Presbyterian or Catholic or faith is believing in what you don't see. If you can put your hands on it and obtain it, that's not faith. Faith is being able to believe in the outcome to be, and that's where they are. They're thankful because their belief is in that outcome.
Well, I heard it explained once because I always had trouble with faith in my earlier years and what that meant. And I heard it very simply explained. They're like, go into a room where a chair is, don't look at the chair, never look at the chair, turn around and sit down without looking. You're exercising faith that you're going to sit and it's going to be there. Drive.
Yeah.
You're exercising faith that the breaks that you need are there. And I just thought, wow, here we are every day in life. So instead of trying to explain some supernatural thing that's hard, you have little examples of faith that you have every day in your daily life.
Yeah.
Would you trust your wife to catch you in the trust fall like that?
I'm going to have 2-3 people back there.
Because people, would you do it?
Yeah, and that's if I have the right faith in them.
There you go.
Depends on who it is behind me.
Right.
Good though. That's a lot of truth in that, and it's incredible. Like that's why Jesus got a lot of flack, I think, in the Bible in those days because everything he was saying was exact opposite.
Yeah.
From what people were normally like. The last, you'll be first. And all this stuff, and like, what?
He's a rebel around.
They couldn't comprehend what he was saying.
Yeah.
So, because their king was supposed to be a conquering king that was going to come in and be mighty and powerful, and instead
he's a servant.
He was a servant.
That's
lead by servant.
That's how you lead, and a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people want to lead as a boss. They want to lead with the whip. And you don't get the best out of people leading with the whip.
Right.
When you serve them, that's how you get the best.
Yeah.
And that's what he did and does. He's a servant.
100%. I think some other good ways too you can practice being thankful is thanking God even when things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
In awful circumstances.
Yeah, and I'm not thanking God for the awful circumstance. No. I'm thanking him that I know he's going to pull me through this.
Exactly.
He has provided for me. John 10:10 says, the thief comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. But I have come to give you life and life more abundantly. If it's stealing, killing, destroying, it's the enemy. If it's life and life more abundantly, it's God.
That's right.
And so I know because of that, my faith is in, okay, if this stuff is coming, God's bringing me through. He's got a way for me to get where I need to be. And that at some point is just going to be a memory.
And that difficulty is building your character. Everybody always knows after you come through hell, you look back and you've grown from it. You've got a new branch coming off your tree, exactly. To learn from.
You've experienced that firsthand with Gracie, your daughter. Like you've said it on here before, like in difficult situations, you've had to make yourself come to the realization that no matter what happens, it's going to be okay. And inside, you're still thankful.
When the anxiety is chewing you up, and you feel like you're losing control, and then you look.
You may even lost control.
Yeah.
Well, if we sit and think about death, man, if you just sit and think about death and about dying, and man, it can get weight on you.
Oh,
man, you're like, man. But if you have something past that, then you're like, okay, I gotta shuck this thinking about dying off and knowing that I'm living.
Well, another one of those books I read. This was Everything is Fuck, except they've got a little asterisk. That's the name of the book. It's actually a phenomenal book. I've talked about it before. There's a chapter in there where they talk about death, and he just puts it bluntly. He goes, in order to be happy, the first thing you're going to need to realize is you are going to die, and life will move on without you. And then after your kids pass away, no one will care anything about anything you did, and your memory will be gone outside of the headstone. And when you hear that, you're like,
Tough.
oh, ooh, yeah. But his point was, be released from it, because that's what's going to happen. And the quicker you can understand that, the quicker you can move past it. Because the problem is nobody wants to move past that. They want to get stuck in it instead of just realizing it's happened to a billion people on this earth, and it's going to happen to a billion people.
But what outlives you? Not the things you do, not the things you accumulate, but the things you give. Those things outlive you. And so if you want a legacy in life, it's giving to your family. It's giving to those around you. It's being present. It's being that person that when generations pass that they go, yeah, but I had this Aunt Karen that was like, she was phenomenal. And she always was there for us, and she was always there to listen. And whenever we had a need, she didn't even think twice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That outlives you. Whereas the things you accumulate or the things that you just work to do, they don't. Like the prodigal son, okay? Everybody knows about the prodigal son, right? The story of the prodigal, it's actually the tale of the two sons.
Yeah.
It's not the tale of the prodigal son. It's the tale of the two sons. There's another one there that he was there the whole time, working, but nobody even knows his name.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who he is.
Exactly.
It's not about what you do. It's about what you give.
Yeah. That's good, man. That really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got anything more on that, Mike?
Nope.
I think too, like some the ways that thankfulness can impact your life and your relationship with God. Like is you recognize that. And there's actually a scripture that says everything good comes from the Father of lights, where there's no variable that changes.
Right.
And when you recognize that and you wrap your head around that, I think we can be more thankful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're saying, hey man, I'm struggling to be thankful for something, sit down and write it down. Say, can I think of 3 things today that I'm thankful for? Write them down.
Let's do the 50.
The 50.
Where it can take as long as you want. I think my wife said she made it up to 53. And you'll drill down and get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then every now and then, maybe when you're having a rough day, go back and look at your list of 50. And it'll probably improve your mood a little bit, because you'll find the little things in life that make you happy. Because the key to life is not the big concert that you go to or the vacation. It's the day-to-day finding the little, tiny, insignificant things that most people in the rat race are racing right past. Yeah. That you can stop and smell the roses, look at the sky, and enjoy the simple things in life is the key to happiness, because it is not a vacation. As much as you like it, as much as that's once a year, or a concert twice a year, or a special trip. No, it's the day-to-day tiny. Like, how about this? You're driving to work, and it's about 55 degrees outside, and they're mowing the side of the road, and you smell that fresh cut grass coming through the vent. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, that's good stuff.
So that's the key to day-to-day life, man.
I tell you, like when I went down to the field house, and because I'm a part of the Red Devil Foundation, and the first time I walked back into that field house, and that smell of that grass and body odor, but it took me back into a time that I became so thankful for what was placed in me and imparted to me through those times and years.
They say smell is the most powerful tool for remembering a special moment. Because the instant you smell that, it takes you right back to that moment.
Well, hey, my oldest daughter, she said, for Christmas, you know what I want? I want you to box up a box full of your T-shirts after you've worn them, so that I can take them and wear them when I sleep at night.
What a sweet girl.
You see, but that it's that smell, that remembrance, and it's dad, and it's that's oh yeah. I was just like, oh, my heart right there,
That's phenomenal stuff right there, man.
It's so good, man. And I just want to challenge everybody, all our listeners, to, especially this week as we come upon Thanksgiving, don't get wrapped up in the shopping and the hustle and bustle. It's actually what our pastor preached on tonight. He went all the way back to like the Pilgrims and why we even had our first Thanksgiving. I mean, it was an awesome sermon.
For real.
But he said like that day was originally made as Thanksgiving to God, to worship Him and all these things. So I encourage you, me included, you guys, like I know we eat and we watch football and we have family time, but don't forget, in the midst of all that, and people go shopping on Friday and all that, but take some time to say, man, Lord, thank you.
Yeah. Say a prayer of Thanksgiving before you eat. When y'all get your whole family together. Maybe even take communion with your family.
That'd be amazing.
Don't bring up politics to your...
Yeah, don't drop that grenade.
The Democrats, or use Thanksgiving as an opportunity to try and love the person that you really can't stand.
Yes.
And that's hard.
Yeah. And I encourage listeners too, man, and to write down 50 things you're thankful for. I'm going to do it. You do it, Brock.
Yeah.
We need to share it.
We'll share it. And I think that'd be awesome. And I encourage our listeners to do that and just see how it affects your mood when you do it.
Because you'll get to number 25 and your brain starts going blank and you're like, dang. And it actually will take probably a couple months for you to do it.
I'd be curious, especially for our listeners, leave a comment, how being thankful and actively doing that and writing things down, how does it affect your mood? How does it affect your sleep?
Yeah.
How does it affect your physical well-being? I'd be anxious to hear about that.
Cold weather coming next week. A little cooler this
20s,
week,
bro.
I can't wait. Next week.
Not this week, though.
We're gonna get a cold front tomorrow, drop us a little bit, but the really cold stuff is supposed to come next Monday. So the weekend, like Thanksgiving Day, it will be cold, probably cloudy. It's gonna be awesome.
Like Thanksgiving's supposed to be.
Right. Looking forward to it.
Fun.
Bob, his first episode is in the books.
Do it.
We're gonna take off next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little special thing coming with Kaylee and Tyler. They're gonna share their testimony.
That's awesome.
And I'm just gonna put it out next week for the people. So
I go December 6th is my anniversary, and that week 6th through be 28.
That was pretty quick.
28.
That's pretty quick.
That was real quick. I was testing it.
Yeah, 28.
That was quick.
And we're going to Vegas, so we're going to be in Vegas for the week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to go see the Eagles at the Sphere.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go see George Strait at Raider Stadium.
Wow.
I'm going to the National Finals Rodeo.
I got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, man, we're going to have a blast. It's going to be fun.
Is you and the wife?
No, me, my wife, my Aunt Karen, my cousin Alan and his wife.
Wow.
I mean, there's like 7-8 of us are going.
It's gonna be a killer time.
We're going to have a blast.
You're gonna have to send me some pictures of the Sphere.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Trippy,
Did you see it on the F1 race?
Yes.
It looks awesome.
I think it's trippy, man.
It's awesome.
F1 race.
Kind of boring.
Yeah. It looks cool, though.
It looked cool. I enjoyed the views. Like hitting 200 miles an hour down the strip and just watching them zoom past, all those hotels that we all know. It's pretty cool.
Pretty sick. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, if you're listening, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, and pray us out of here.
Let's go.
Mike, you don't have a hat to take off.
I know. I decided to be bald today. Hope everybody likes it.
Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this day. Lord, I thank you for these men. Thank you for our listeners. I pray, God, you give us the strength, Father, to find things we are thankful for, to look what might just be right in front of us, Father, for things that we're thankful for. Give us the strength, Father, to keep fighting the good fight. Lead and guide us by your Holy Spirit. And your Lord willing, we'll meet again for this podcast. We love you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Life After Sunday podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Please give us a like and a comment, and go follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And as always, keep fighting the good fight.